Hello, everyone. Today we are going to be talking about singing with your child. So, how to engage your child's mind and body with music. This is brought to you by Life Steps Foundation and the Grow With Me program. So, who am I? I am Nicole Chavez. I'm an early interventionist with Life Steps Foundation. We are a nonprofit that offers both in-home and center-based services for infants and toddlers with delays and disabilities and their families in California. So, if you have a child who has a developmental delay or a disability, you might have an in-home service provider come to your house and offer you ideas, recommendations, ways that you can engage your child to achieve developmental milestones that you're looking at. So, how can music be beneficial for your child? Over here on the left, you'll see that I have developmental domains circled in these little orange bubbles and a kind of a corresponding line about each one. So, it can help with your child's speech development. So, it supports language skills to sing. We learn a lot about how to tell stories, how grammar works, how um, vocal cadence works. So the way that we sing sounds very similarly to the way that we talk. We use a lot of the same sorts of clauses and nouns and verbs, all that good stuff. It also supports your child's social emotional learning. They'll develop both social skills and emotional skills. Social skills being that singing requires teamwork, it requires for people to have joint attention together. It really lets children figure out how they can work with other people to come to an end result. So we're all singing together, we clap at the same time as we move our fingers together. It's a way to make meaning in a group. For emotional skills, we have songs like If You're Happy and You Know It, which talks about being happy, sad, angry, excited, a wide variety of emotions that allows your toddler to have an understanding of feelings and what facial expressions can correspond with those feelings. Um, Additionally, it supports cognition. So, singing helps your child with problem solving skills, memory, and attention. So, to sit and listen to an adult singing a song requires attention. You may see your child during a circle time get up and be distracted and moving around while there are songs being sung. That's all part of the process of them learning that as they get a little bit older and they start to understand more of what's being said and what's being done during these songs, they start to little by little gain that mental stamina to be able to persist and spend longer time in a group setting with people working on something that's collaborative. Additionally, singing can help bolster fine and gross motor development. So there are songs that are called finger plays, like the Itsy Bitsy Spider, where you make a little spider with your fingers, you draw out the sun, you talk about the rain. So those are all fine motor skills, being able to imitate those little motions that they're just watching adults do. For gross motor development, there are songs that have your child maybe hop like a bunny or run in a circle or move their arms and move their legs. So those are bigger gross motor skills that you're seeing your child develop in front of you as they work on and engage with songs that engage their whole body. So for social emotional learning, like I was talking about before, we learn a lot about our social lives through singing and through that joint attention working with people. So you can see in the picture, there's two people singing with this child, and this child is learning to spend a little more time. They're looking at faces, they're singing with the people around them. And it helps really promote that strong bonding that is really important and vital at the early stages in your child's life. So, strong bonds with your caregivers are what sets children up for success. Um, Joint attention, focusing on the same thing at the same time, is really beneficial for a lot of things in life. We are social creatures. There's never going to be a point in our lives where it doesn't benefit us to understand how to work with other people and how to focus on something together and engage with it together. Children build their relationships through silliness and through play. You may notice that your child will imitate something that gets a laugh from everybody. They are learning that the people around them are great reflectors of what is fun and what is interesting. And it really helps your child kind of hone in on what feels special to them. So, singing together helps promote that bonding, helps promote that closeness, and also teaches your child a lot about the people around them and what they value. For language skills, so more specifically, how does speech help with music? Rhythm and rhymes build early reading skills. So, music helps us break apart the little units that build our words and help us understand the grammar of a language better. You may have heard, if you've ever tried to learn a language yourself, a second language, that, oh, try listening to music in that language or try to translate those lyrics that you hear because that'll help you kind of come up with repeated patterns that you'll hear in that language. And it makes it a little bit easier for your brain to pick out the individual sounds. Music also encourages children to use the words that they hear in songs. So maybe they'll hear a new word for how to say big, like maybe a song talks about a bear being enormous, it's a way to introduce kind of more complex vocabulary as well to children. Um, yeah, it's a lot of great benefits. Songs also have predictability, and children love to repeat and practice things over and over. You may notice that maybe your child loves a specific song and they ask for it all the time, or they love a specific book and they want to reread it over and over. To adults, sometimes that can get kind of tedious. We've understood the material, and we don't feel the need to repeat it again. But for children, repeating those actions over and over really helps solidify what they're learning about. So maybe the content of the song and also all of those other things that it can encompass, like the grammar and the speech and the flow of interaction. And the reason that we as adults don't really need as much of that repetition when we're reading something new is because we've had all of that foundational practice of repeating things over and over and over, seeing the same things that we like over and over again. So, music can also help with self-help skills. So, you might have a song with your child, like the song This Is the Way We. So, it goes, This is the way we, and you can insert brush our teeth or wash our hands or go to school. You can change it up, make it your own, and describe and act out different ways that your child can do things. So, this is the way we brush our teeth with a little toothbrush in hand, or this is the way we wash our hands, and show them, all of the components of washing your hands. So, rubbing all the sides, rinsing under the water, making bubbles. There's a lot that you can explore through music. Talking about children's routines with them really strengthens their mental pathways and gives opportunities for them to practice what those routines look like without having to actually go through the whole routine of actually brushing their teeth. And it can make it fun, it can make it exciting. There are kids who don't enjoy brushing their teeth or don't enjoy washing their hands. But if we put music to it, if we make things into a game, that can really help draw the attention of a child and help them feel more involved in their own process and a little bit more in control because now instead of it's mom telling you to brush your teeth or dad telling you to brush your teeth, it's here's a fun game that we can do. Here's a fun song that we can sing together. So for fine motor skills and gross motor skills, fine motor skills like, doing the little finger plays and Itsy Bitsy Spider, things like that, they help children use and strengthen the little muscles in their hands. They become better imitators, and that is really, really helpful in so many facets of life. We do a lot of social mirroring, social referencing in our day-to-day and understanding what's important to other people and understanding body language and gestures. But also, if you're thinking of a more kind of academic route, this is also really good for supporting your child with early writing skills. So, having strong fine motor control is what's going to enable your child to hold a pencil or hold a colored pencil or something that they're going to be using for drawing or writing in their school years, and of course throughout life. For gross motor skills, there are songs that instruct children to move their bodies in different ways. I mentioned one of them before, Hop Little Bunny, that goes hop little bunny, hop, hop, hop. And the children will pretend to be a little bunny jumping up and hopping. And jumping is a big milestone because it lets us know that things are working well neurologically for your child, that they can coordinate their full body. And practicing those things really just strengthens their muscles, strengthens their joints, and promotes well-being throughout our lives to have good gross motor skills. You might also have a song like Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes that incorporates both of these things, that incorporates fine motor skills and gross motor skills in pointing at your eyes, pointing at your ears, pointing at your mouth. All of those are fine motor skills, but the standing and the touching your head, touching your shoulders, knees, and toes, and bending all the way down to your feet, those are really great practices for your gross motor skills. So, here are some tips if you are singing songs with your children. Some people think that when you are singing with your child, you should only pick child-centered music, think Miss Rachel or super simple songs on YouTube, songs that are talking about, the Itsy Bitsy Spider or maybe Old MacDonald Had a Farm. But you can really engage your child with music with any type of music. If it's more fun for you to listen to the Beatles or to listen to Fleetwood Mac, these are all things that you can show to your child and engage with them in something that's important to you and create special memories for your family. So, ones that you really like, you can find out if your child also really likes them. And if they really like them, they might want to play it on repeat and they'll be learning kind of more complex words from more complex songs. Um, but you can also, find fun children's music that reflects the music that you want your child to be listening to. So it's a very, very fun way to bond. Um, when you're singing with your child, it can be really helpful to move your body to the music, to model that movement, model that reaction to the beat, and encourage your child to do the same. Ask them if you're, dancing and you see that they're sitting, kind of watching you intently. You can ask them, "Oh, can you do this? Like, let's do this together." Or you can help your child and kind of shift their shoulders for them and show them how to do a little shimmy. Um, you can find songs that support certain skills that you want to help your child with. So, the This Is the Way song, or songs about all sorts of different routines throughout the day, songs about going to sleep, songs about cleaning up, songs about how to put your shoes on. There's lots of different options out there that can engage your child in certain skills that you're looking for. So, a couple of additional tips, just because we can all use support in this, not for it doesn't come naturally to everybody to sing and dance and be silly in this way. So I want to give a couple of reminders that, you don't need to worry about your own singing voice. Children really love music and are attuned to their parents' voices, regardless of how they sound. Some people have no problem holding a note, and some people need a little bit more support in that or prefer to do things a little bit more spoken with a music backtrack. These are all really valid ways to engage with your child, and your child's going to love it because they're engaging with you. Really, for them, the bond is what is important. And if you're noticing that they're not so interested, that's fine. You can always take a little pause, come back later. Um, Sing slowly and clearly. Make sure that you enunciate your words the same way that when we're talking to babies that we elongate our words and make things very simple. Doing the same thing with singing can be really helpful. Your pitch and your tone is not nearly as important as enunciating and making sure that your child is hearing what you're sharing with them. You can also make sure to emphasize big moments in the song with your facial expressions. So maybe if something in the song falls, like in the Monkeys Jumping on the Bed song, you can go, "Ah," like you're very surprised that they've fallen, or ouch, and pretend to rub your head like the hurt monkey who fell off the bed. Reacting that way, emphasizing the big moments in the song and reacting emotionally to them helps show your child that when things happen, there are options for what they can do with their body to react. They can react with surprise, they can react like they're in pain, they can react with fear, they can react with happiness and excitement. So there's a lot of different things that you can model for your child in that way. If you really like to sing and you like to create your own songs, do that. You can be goofy, you can make your own parody music to songs that you already like for your child that talks to them about things that you want to share with them. That's a really, really fun way to play with your child and also keep your mind stimulated if you're feeling like, oh man, we're doing a lot of repetition of, you know, the hokey pokey or something that you're not as interested in, you can make it something that's a little bit more fun for you. Sing whenever and wherever. You can sing at bedtime, you can sing at bath time, you can sing in the morning when you wake them up, in the car rides, in at the park. You know, there's pretty much nowhere that isn't appropriate to be singing. It's very, very fun for you and for your child. So one of the songs that I've been mentioning has been the Itsy Bitsy Spider. So I did a little bit of highlighting of the rhyme scheme in it to kind of show that early literacy and language skills that get developed by singing. So there's spout, out, rain, again. You kind of have to fudge the last one a little bit to make it truly rhyme. But this is a really fun song, and I'm going to give a little example of how I would sing this song if I was sharing it with a child. So I also have a video down here that this presentation will be available. So if you'd like to watch the video and use that, no problem. But this is how we can do a little finger play with the Itsy Bitsy Spider. So the itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain, and the itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again. So, in that song, I'm doing the motions for the spider, for the rain, for the sun, and for the drying. You can add other expressions. You can pause with a big surprised face when the spider washes down. You can use sign language if you want to teach your child the word again. You can end that song by going again in sign language. And you're also showing your child kind of the physics of our world by singing this song and demonstrating. So the spider is going up, the rain comes down, the sun comes up and dries everything. So this song really, although it seems kind of silly and playful, which it is also, it's something really educational for your child. It teaches them a lot about the world around them, about how creatures move, about the little, the legs on the spider. Um, so it's a really rich song that we don't really think about as being so rich. Oop. So then we also have here another song that I picked out. It's a popular one. I'm sure that most of you have heard it, the Wheels on the Bus song. So I'm going to give an example of one of the choruses, and then I might do a second one too, because there's quite a few fun ones. So in each little section here, you might see, so the first word will be wheels, the repeated word will be round, the first word will be wipers, the repeated word will be swish. So I have them all out in here. And you can also, like I say at the end, add your own, make up your own things that are happening on the bus. That's a fun way to make it playful. And if your child has enough language skills to respond to who else is on the bus, you can always ask them that question and have them have a little bit more control over the order of things in the song as well. So here's how it goes. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town. The people on the bus go up and down, up and down, up and down. The people on the bus go up and down all through the town. So when we're doing our hand gestures for this song, we're imitating the wheels, we're having the people go up and down, the same, or you can move your body, you can stand up when you have them go up and down, you can jump when you have them go up and down. So there's different ways that you can scale this song for the amount of physical gross motor skills practice that you want to get in. So the song has that physicality to it. And then also you'll see right here with the baby says wah wah wah, the mama says I love you, the dada says shh shh shh. Those are all social emotional things that the child is learning. They're learning that their parents love them, sometimes that babies will cry. And when babies cry, how do we react? Sometimes we shh, 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 we comfort them, or we say, I love you, and try to help them regulate again. This is also a really practical song because it's likely that in their lives your child will use our public transit system. And so it's a good way to learn about the type of things that might happen on the bus, the people on the bus, and it's also a fun thing to do if your child likes to people watch, or vehicle watch is a really popular one. So a lot of kids like to look out the window at cars. Maybe you spot a bus and you guys can talk about the different parts on the bus. So there's a lot of different things that this song kind of opens up for your child. It's also very fun, very repeatable. So the last word being repeated three times. So round and round, round and round, round and round, round and round. By repeating those words over and over, it helps your child watch your mouth on how the word is formed and what it sounds like. And so it makes it a lot easier to imitate when you get to hear something like that over and over. So, our last song that we have here, which is If You're Happy and You Know It, is one that is pretty social emotional leaning, but also has some great gross motor skills practice as well. So, this one goes, If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're mad and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're mad and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're mad and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're mad and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're excited and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! If you're excited and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! If you're excited and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're excited and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! So this song has you moving your body in a variety of ways. Clapping is a milestone, so it helps your baby practice clapping in a repeatable way. So you get to hear the line and you know that you clap at the end. Um, for the mad one, you make a mad facial expression to show kind of what an angry face can look like. And you can stomp your feet, and that gives your child something to do if they're feeling really mad and maybe they're throwing things, or they're trying to hit, or they're trying to do something else that you really don't want them to be doing, and you want to try to redirect that. You can say, well, what do we do when we're mad? If they know this song, they might start stomping their feet. Or you can say, oh, we're mad and we know it. Let's stomp our feet. It helps your child have a consistent, practical redirection for their angry feelings. So this song is really helpful in giving your child tools for communicating those feelings and exploring their own emotional expression. So, this presentation has been in partnership with First Five of San Mateo County and Help Me Grow. So, First Five of San Mateo County has a wide array of information that can support your family, because you guys are the experts in your children. You are your child's first teachers. They might not be starting school until they're 5 years old if you decide to teach them from home until that time. Um, Building blocks for early learning are our strong relationships, our experiences, our emotions, and the ways that we play. So if you are looking for everyday activities, you can check out this first link, the Who We Are First Five San Mateo link. Help Me Grow, the program, provides information, linkage, referral, and support to parents and providers to ensure that all children reach their greatest potential. If you'd like to be connected with Help Me Grow, there's a link right there. And then there's also a video presentation about supports and programs. So we at Life Steps Foundation, our virtual circle time groups for children who are 18 months to 5 years old, and our virtual parent-child groups for infants from birth to 18 months have been made possible by First Five of San Mateo County. If you're interested in joining these circle times, or if you're already a part of them, these are all really fun activities that you can do in the meantime or in between these circle times. I hope that you guys have learned something and that this has been helpful. Good luck in your futures of singing with your children and engaging them in music.